This will work. Good morning, everybody. I'll give a couple minutes for everyone to kind of get on, and I'm trying to control the halo. The sun in the wintertime kind of beams in that window behind me. So I did try to adjust this. But I wanted to talk to you about marketing, probably my most favorite subject. And the reason for that is because marketing equals money to me. And I actually used to spend, I think last year we spent, it was close to $100,000. We spent 6 figures on marketing. I think it was like $92,000. So I have an idea of what works and what doesn't work with marketing, especially for cleaning companies. Some of these are my ideas, and others I've picked up through other gurus, other business coaches. So I can't put my claim to flame on them, but they did work. So number one, hopefully I can block, maybe if I sit up a little higher. Number one, if you're gonna do any form of marketing, you need to have a budget for it. On average, last year, each lead that I got that was a bi-weekly client cost me $227.53. And it was a range. Some I got lucky and it was $167. Sometimes I got a direct referral, which was a bonus from a client, and I would actually give them a free cleaning. So well worth it, because you're probably freaking out going, oh my God, I'm never going to spend $227.53 for a lead. But in actuality, as you grow, you will. And if you layer your marketing, it actually will come into fruition. So you just got to make sure that you're catching those calls and that you're writing all the information down. I actually have a form which I can include in the Google Drive that I can give you, and it's just a basic form on how to do a bid. Some of you guys already have your own that you've acquired from somewhere else, but this is just to help you close that bid. Remember to get the email so that you can market to them. Even if they don't go with you now, you can market them later. And then sometimes that other company they went with just didn't work out. Usually it's a quality issue or it's a language barrier or whatever the case. So it's a good resource to have them to market with. Always, always, always maintain your email list. But way back when I was an independent, all those years ago, a decade ago, crazy to think of how fast that went, I didn't have a lot of cash. I was scrambling around, burning my shoe leather, and I wanted clients. So I was like trying to figure out, I remember it was pretty funny. I would go out every day and hustle. I would drop off business cards. I would have meetings. I would try to do a lot of things to generate income. And this is right around when the economy was tanking. Here it is, 10 years again, and we're having issues with the economy because of the pandemic. But I used to go out every day. So what I would do is, I live in a smaller town, so we would have bulletin boards. And I would literally go and I'd buy thumbtacks at the dollar store, and I would just post. I had my little route that I would do, and I would just post my business card or my postcard wherever those locations were. And they've changed over the years. We actually still have bulletin boards. You can still find them in feed stores. You can find miscellaneous business cards in a lot of other businesses. Sometimes other businesses want to support you. Like my nail lady, when I first started out, she would allow me to leave a business card holder, and I would just write my name on the business card holder. And every time I went to have a pedicure or manicure, I would always fill them up. And I did get quite a few leads from that. But how I started out to get marketing, a lot of marketing, it was just kind of dumb luck. I happened to see a taxi in front of me one day when I was driving, and I was like, God, it would be really awesome to have a logo on the back of my car, because when you have a logo on the side of your cars, yeah, people see you driving by, but when you have a logo on the back of your car and you're driving in traffic, that's the best form of advertisement. They're sitting there for 30 or 40 seconds all the way until they turn to wherever their destination is. So they're getting that repeat affirmation to call you, call you, call you. So if you have an opportunity, I would put a shout out in your local Facebook group and see if someone would be interested in doing a logo for you. You can get a good, decent one for about $250. And if you can't afford that because of funding issues, because this has just been such a crazy year, see if you can trade. Trading and bartering is so helpful, especially when it comes to advertisement. Most people who have media companies or newspapers or any of those types of advertisement things will be willing to trade with you, because who doesn't want to have their house clean, right? So if you get an opportunity and you have a little bit of a relationship with them, see if they'd be interested in trading housekeeping and make it dollar for dollar. So if your logo costs $250, make sure that you're cleaning it, you're giving them $250 worth of cleaning. And I would do it in a contract, a basic contract, so that everyone is crystal clear. I've had bad experiences where I didn't put it in a contract, and then I ended up, stepping on my toes, and then ended up giving up way more than I would have ever have done. So having a logo is super important on the back of your car. Signing up for Vistaprint. If you haven't already done so, if you get on the Vistaprint's email list, there are key times when they offer things on discount. So you can get business cards for 50% off, postcards for 50% off. And you just, every time you get an email reminder, you can just buy them on sale. And you already have your logo, your business card already done in there. So you just hit repeat and it just sends you. It's really pretty easy. So that's another good form of advertisement. I'm going to cheat from my notes here. Let's flip it over. Having a website, super important. I know today it's hard to believe that some of you just don't have a website because you're basing your whole business on referrals. Everybody has a website, whether you go through GoDaddy or Wix or whoever you pick. Make sure you have a website. My very first website, I still actually, I checked today, and the owner that bought my company, it's still up. It's castlekeepercleaning.info. And I actually bought a .info because it was on sale and I didn't have a lot of money at the time. So, and then eventually, I think towards the end, before I sold the company, I ended up buying a domain name that led to the .info. So I owned castlekeepercleaning.com, and then I owned castlekeepercleaning.info, and that was Castle with a K. I think it's still up. I checked it last night, so he hasn't done anything with it. But it's a relatively easy format. If you cannot do a website because the tech is just overwhelming and you just don't want to be bothered, see if you can trade to do that. Or get someone to do it for you. Trading would be preferred. A lot of techie guys want to have their house cleaned as well. So make sure that you're doing that. Make sure you're getting a Google listing. If you, this is free, and it takes a little bit of effort because you have to have your Google business listed on Google. So how you can get around not having your address posted for everyone to see is, because these are little sketchy times, right? Is to actually have them verify your business. So if you have a P.O. box, the United States Postal Service, to compete with all of the UPS stores and all of the other places that offer P.O. boxes, is offering a street address for free when you rent a P.O. box. I literally have had the same P.O. box while I've been in town for, 15 years. So I've had the same P.O. box, and it's just kind of changed as my businesses have changed. But they offer free address. That way I don't, because I operate out of my house as well, I don't have my address listed anywhere because it just is kind of one of those things. So that's also really important, and that's free. And they send you a little card, and you just verify the code, and then you go in and fix it all up. And make sure you're uploading photos when you do that. Pick photos, random pretty photos of houses that you've cleaned. You can put a couple of disaster photos too, because people go, oh wow, before and after. So that's always interesting as well. You can also register with all your service directories. I know Google is king, but there's Bing, Yahoo, MapQuest, Apple Maps, Google Maps. All of those places are free. Just takes a little bit of an effort, and you can spend an afternoon and just make sure that you're registering with all those things so that when you're doing a search engine for your business, the little robots can find you. So that's free as well. Most of you guys have a Facebook page, and you also have a personal page. So what I learned from the Facebook guru who actually came to our meeting a couple of months ago is most business nowadays, yeah, you have a Facebook business page, but most business that's going to come to you off of Facebook naturally, organically, is going to be from Facebook, your personal page. So you're going to want to learn that technique on how to become friends with people, and then make sure that you're posting at least 3 times a week on your business page, and it'll by itself grow your audience. So and it's really easy. It just takes an afternoon. I think I did all of my posts for my Facebook business page up until the end of January, and I just took random shots that I had, shot with my phone, and I just loaded them up, and I said, this is, why you need to housekeeping. I put, like, for example, I put dandruff shampoo and Coke, dandruff shampoo and Coke, if you use the right technique, actually removes motor oil. So if you have your car that leaks and you get motor oil on someone's driveway, and some people are persnickety about that, you can actually put dandruff shampoo down, a little teeny bit of water, scrub it, leave it to a paste. Then I pour Coke on it after I let it sit for 15 minutes. And then I scrub it one more time, and then I rinse, and it usually will take all of the oil out in one sweep. Pretty easy. So that's another great avenue for marketing. Getting a LinkedIn page. I didn't want to get a LinkedIn page. I was like, oh my God, I don't want another thing to manage. But all the business people who are in corporate are going to be on LinkedIn. So they're going to look to see what your bio is, how long you've been in business, if you're a legit business, or if you're just a side hustler, or whatever you decide to put up there. It just all needs to match. So your profile on your Facebook business page needs to match your LinkedIn page, and it also, your bio needs to match your Instagram page. And that way all of the algorithms can catch you when you're in your little service area. If you're familiar with your other business owners in town, I live in a small town. This is really easy to do. And they say, oh, I have this newsletter that I send. Ask them. Ask and you shall receive. You would never, business owners want to help out other business owners. So if you find out they have a newsletter, ask them if you can be in their newsletter. Ask them if you can write an article for them on giving cleaning tips and how to sanitize. That's kind of an even exchange, and they're emailing your business information to all of their email recipients. Free, extra 20, 30 minutes writing an article. So that's pretty cool too. Advertising in local homeowners associations. This is hit or miss. I've had other girls do awesome with this, and then I've had other people not so much. I didn't have a lot of luck with it, but you just never know. I call up all the HOAs, ask how much it is to advertise with them. It's a print. It's just layering your marketing. And sometimes you can get like $50 or $100, a nice article written about you or an advertisement, and it's going to like their 3,000 residents. That's a no-brainer to me, but that's definitely something to try. We talked about Vistaprints. Asking for referrals. I actually, referrals and reviews. So asking your clients for a referral is also another way to do it. When the pandemic first hit, what we did is, because people were kind of still afraid as we're getting ready to hit this COVID thing again, to let people in your house. So ask your clients if they have a business that you can clean. That way you're still cleaning and you're still sending your crews out, and you're not eating money because everyone's panicking because the Cooties are back out. So that's another way to get around the whole COVID thing. If people don't want you in their houses, make sure you're asking, because a lot of my clients are business owners. So asking them if they have an office you can clean instead. That's less contact, and you're still getting income coming in. And hopefully it'll be an equal swap, and you won't have to adjust your income. So if their house is $125, you can clean the office for $125. I hope that makes sense. Reward those referrals with free cleanings. I know I already mentioned that, but when you have someone who spoon feeds you a referral and that person signs on and wants bi-weekly service, give that referral a free cleaning. Not $50, not $25, a free cleaning. That is a gift. You don't want to turn that down, and you want to encourage more referrals, because people only want to do business with people they like, know, and trust. Remember I said that. Excuse me. Attending professional networking groups and events. If you're new to business, B&I might be your way to go. They kind of teach you how to give your 30-second elevator speech. And it's really important that when people ask you what you do, you're excited and you can spit out that elevator speech like it's a pre-programmed recording, right? I'm Shannon Miller and I own the Maid Broker. And what we do is we refer maids all over Arizona. Just something simple like that. And then hand them your card and then follow up with them. That's so important. The Chamber of Commerce is also a great organization if you're not wanting to do the B&I. B&I, I think, is like $500 for the year, where your local chamber, depending on your location, could be anywhere from $250 to $500. And getting to know those members, those guys are not going to necessarily be your clients. There's real estate agents and everything else, but they're going to be able to refer you to the clients that you want. So make sure that you're joining your chamber and that you're showing up. I know with COVID, it's been kind of sticky and touch and go, but if you're in an area that isn't really affected or isn't going to shut down, try to network as best you can. Just try not to shake people's hands and make sure you wear a hand sanitizer. So if you get an opportunity, make sure, lots of times newspapers, especially small newspapers, are looking for people who are going to want to write articles for them, and make sure that you're marketing and repurposing all of that media. Cleaning for a Reason is another great organization. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it. It's a non-for-profit organization that offers free house cleaning to people who are in treatment for cancer. I actually was a member for, 4 or 5 years, and on average we gave around $6,000. Some years we gave about $8,000 worth of cleaning per year to that organization. And basically, it's someone who's going through cancer and they just are getting free cleaning. And I actually ended up getting clients out of them after they ended up rallying and being able to recover from their cancer. So it was a win-win. It was a very, I'm not good with those types of situations. I will blubber on every single one of those couches. But it's a great organization to be part of. I think they charge you like $20 or $22 a month to be part of the organization, but that's cleaningforareason.org. You can check that out. And it's also a great way to get in media for free because you're part of a larger picture. So make sure that you're utilizing that avenue. You can also give spring cleaning tips. I know a lot of people are able to get on TV and then you're the cleaning guru on their show and you talk about sanitizing and why you want to sanitize, with the remote control and, your keyboard and your phone and how to do that and all that other stuff. That's also really good. Publicizing your PR is really awesome. If you get a chance and you are on TV, and some TV stations will give it to you free, others will want to charge you. So it's well worth to pay the $10 for them to burn the DVD of you being on TV, and then you can repurpose it. You can put it on your website, you can put it on Facebook, you can put it on YouTube if you have a channel, and then it just kind of recirculates in there, and it's just always out there. Excuse me, LinkedIn, TV stations. Doing a 5-around. 5-arounds are really kind of an interesting thing. So you have, let me see, I pulled some marketing out and I didn't grab it. Let's just say that this little postcard right here is a door hanger. So you have this door hanger and it has a super deal. Basically, your top to bottom deluxe cleaning is $50 off when you sign up today, and you just leave it on the door of the people that you're cleaning. So if you have one house here and you're actually going 2 houses down this way and you're dropping it off, and 2 houses down that way, or 3 houses, that's called a 5-around. And you want to be able to do that every place you stop. It takes an extra 5 minutes of your time, and it's great for you to pick up because then they'll talk to their neighbor and say, oh, I heard this cleaner. And then they'll be like, yeah, oh yeah, they clean for me. They do an awesome job. That's someone I can really trust. So that's called a 5-around. It just takes a little bit of extra effort. The most you'll have to pay for your door hangers, depending on where you get them, is $100 or $150. And sometimes you can get like 5,000 of them on sale. So that's a 5-around. Also, when you are doing the 5-around, depending on your location, make sure you are asking permission from your city that you do not need a peddler's license. Up in my area, if you have a business license, you don't need a peddler's license. But if you don't have a business license here, you need a peddler's license, and or both in some instances. So make sure that you're not breaking the law, because you don't want anyone to report you and then have the police come over and go, why are you wandering around in this neighborhood? And you're like, but I clean at this house down here. So that's super important. What else do we have? Capturing amazing testimonials. Every quarter, I will actually put out a postcard and say, we would love to share the testimonials of all the wonderful things that you think about us, and then ask the permission. They just sign a little waiver and then post it on your Facebook page and your website. It's a great way to give you more credibility. Emails we already talked about. Doing bids, production rates. We kind of touched a little bit about this yesterday. I think I might do a whole separate piece on production rates. But knowing your production rate helps you charge a flat rate price. So if it takes you $100, if you charge someone $100 and you can clean 1,000 square feet for $100, that's, a pretty good gig. So that would be able to divide what that math is, and you can figure out what your flat rate price is. But we'll go into more detail about that, I think, in another video. I'll see if there's more of a need. There was a couple of you who were asking yesterday, so I felt that was important. Business cards, logo, being able to have an advertisement in your newspaper. I had a running advertisement in my newspaper. I think I paid a weekly price, and I recall, and I had it for like 5 years. I recall it being about $4,000 or $5,000 for the year. And it was, you're probably going, oh God, not print. But it actually worked in my community because I live in a senior community, and those guys hold on. What they'll do is they'll clip it. They might not need you today, and they might not need you tomorrow, but they'll remember you from a year from now. It's not going to give you a return on your investment right away, but they'll give it to their neighbor and they'll clip it out. I've actually seen advertisements because I've been in business so long. They go, oh my God, I have your old advertisement from when you were blah, 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 blah. And they've held on to it for 5 whole years. So it does work. It just, you want the return on investment to be quicker. So your newspaper is a way to go. And I would also see if you can trade. Trading is a great way, in bartering, to get free advertisement. In my area, I actually used to advertise also in the Prescott dog, and this was way back when I didn't have a lot of cash flow. So I literally would clean her house, I want to say twice every 2 weeks, and we just traded. So I got a half-page advertisement in this dog magazine called the Prescott Dog, and it was great because I was dog friendly and that was my niche. We would cater to everyone who had dogs, and we're a huge dog community. So that worked great for me. Getting out of contracts for advertisements. This is actually kind of important. So there's a lot of advertisements that you can use and not use for your business. So for example, I'm going to grab this guy right here. I don't know if you guys can see it. It says PV North. And this is actually by a company called Best Version Media. I don't know if you can see it. I actually I've had a lot of contracts when I started to do a lot of advertising, and I was shelling out a lot of money. And most contracts you can get out of. It's you just need to know how to wiggle out your way out. So if you sign a contract and you decide after 6 months it's just not working, you can actually sometimes they'll let you gracefully bow out, and then sometimes they'll fight you on it. This particular company, Best Version Media, would not let me. I had a 3-year contract and would not let me out until I hit the halfway mark, which I was grateful for, but she was not nice about it. And then when I looked online for Best Version Media, they had so many complaints against them. I felt like an idiot. I'm like, I didn't check it out. I just had someone who came knocking on my office door and said, hey, would you like to try this? And I was like, gosh, layering my marketing would be good. And then so I was paying for something that wasn't giving me any return. I mean, I didn't get any calls off of it. It was a great magazine put together, so I was, it was all shiny, so I was like, oh. But it's not a company that you really want to deal with. It's let's see if I can find my advertisement. I paid for like a quarter page or a business card page, and I didn't get one hit out of 18 months, and that was like, wow, that was an expensive boo-boo. But I eventually ended up getting out of them, so that's not a company that you want to work with. But then there was also this Table Times. I don't know, I kind of pulled this out if you can see it. This was a nice article that was written up. I actually paid for this ad, and I think I paid $550. I also didn't get any returns or calls out of it, but it was a nice write-up nonetheless. What else did I do? Oh, here's a postcard. You can get these off Vistaprint. And I got these photos off of Shutterstock. And then this is what the back looks like. And I think I paid 50% off. They were having some sort of special sale. This is also a postcard. It says $40 off. And I used to hand these out all the time when I went to functions. And you can see it says Castle Keeper Cleaning. And then there was an expiration date on here. So that was a nice form of advertisement. Here is a... I don't know if you can see it. Here is a piece of paper. It says, guess what? We just got another 5-star review, and it's asking for a review. You're asking, because if you don't ask, you're not going to receive, right? So, and you can also make it about a contest. Like sometimes people aren't going to want to give you a review, but they're going to want to give your employee a review, right? So if you pitch it like we're having this contest, if Sue gets X amount of reviews, she gets in the contest to have a flat screen TV. So that kind of drums up, and you do that 1 month per year, and you have a big contest about it and make it a big production, and you will have a lot of reviews coming in, Yelp, Google, all of those other providers. And then what else do we have? Let's go over the list of advertisements that I feel do not work for cleaning companies. And I know that you can still try it out and see if it'll work for you. It just might not. In my market here in Arizona, I didn't have any luck with any of the following. The back of the receipts from the grocery store. Not good for cleaning companies. That's just a waste of your money. Most people throw away the receipts right away. Even me, finally, I've gotten to the technology where I snap a photo and it just uploads it to my Google Drive, and then I don't have to deal with it anymore. I'm not keeping that receipt. I'm not looking at the back of the receipt. It's just a waste of money. Shopping carts. I've not had a lot of luck with shopping carts. I know there was a few of you who I saw had just done an advertisement for shopping carts. Please let me know how that works out. I haven't tried it in probably 5 or 6 years, and I didn't get anything off of it, so I didn't feel it was worth the price. But maybe in your market and demographic it is. So I'm very curious to find out. Pizza boxes. I get calls for this still to this day. I'm looking to fill out so-and-so for my soccer team, and we put the advertisement on our pizza boxes. That's not good for cleaning companies either. And initially I did it because I didn't know what I was doing in marketing. And as I grew and learned and honed in my skill, I realized that advertising on a pizza box isn't for cleaning. So golf scorecards, I get hit up for this all the time too on your T-cards. Those guys aren't looking for housekeeping. Those guys are out drinking their beers, having a good time, and they're not going to be giving that scorecard to their wife because they've cheated on their card or whatever. It just isn't going to happen. It's not a good form of advertising. Menu placemats. That's also another one that isn't really good for cleaning companies. So you're at your favorite steakhouse and they have an advertisement placemat that's paper and you're kind of looking at it. I don't know about you, but I've never once called anything on any of those placemats. So that's probably not a good thing for cleaning companies. Table tent advertisements. That was the table time that I showed you. This actually sat in a really nice binder. When this is the $500 ad. And I never got any calls out of it. It might be different in your market. You're more than welcome to try it, but it's called tabletimes.com or table time. And I think their number, if you want to call them, is 800-264-1104. That might work well in your market. It didn't work in mine. Outside of cups, there's another one that's a low-budget advertisement. I've never gotten any calls off cups, and I actually still think I have a box of them in my garage. I ended up buying extra because I was like, look, my logo's on the back of this cup. So, Yellow Pages. I know that there's this new interface with Yellow Pages that's supposed to help digitally, and then by default you get the printed version in the phone book. In my area, even though we're an elderly community, it just doesn't work. It might work in your market, it might not. You'd have to try it and see. And then again, anything to do with best version media, I would avoid. I think that covers all of the marketing that I have for this. I can actually write a whole book on marketing, which I'm probably going to work on towards the end of the year. But where I got a lot of my ideas for trading and bartering is called Barteronomics. It's by Debbie Sardone, and I think it's like $16. And she actually talks about in this book how she paid for her daughter's wedding by trading and bartering. And she also owns a very large cleaning company in Texas. That's how I actually know her. So Barteronomics is a great way to help fulfill those marketing needs when you're short on cash. I look forward to your questions and engagements. And thank you for taking the time to listening to me today. And I look forward to talking to you tomorrow. You guys take care.